Good evening. Welcome to Spirit Speaks 333. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight, for you to have let me into your space and to kind of do my own thing, and hopefully bring some enlightenment into your life. So, for one of my first messages on this page, I wanted to kind of talk about my favorite card in the tarot, and that is the Tower, right? So, the majority of people who actually follow and watch tarot and get into spirituality, they know that this card incites a lot of fear into people. And look at the imagery in this particular card, right? We've got the tower's on fire, lightning has also struck it, people are falling out of windows. There's a woman in the bottom corner who has landed on a sharp rock that has gone through her chest. And there are dark clouds in the background. There is a crown up there, right? Which is maybe like representative of fallen sovereignty or falling from grace. But falling from, a position of some sort, or being forced out of some sort of like stance or place or energy that you might have been in, that I might have been in, that we might have been in. And it's this card used to incite a lot of anxiety in me as well, but I've really come to appreciate the Tower, and when it shows up, I no longer feel that sense of anxiety. It does bring a little bit of caution. I do raise an eyebrow, and I do kind of want to dig a little deeper. But it does not incite the amount of fear that it used to incite in me. So today I want to talk about the Tower as an opportunity, right? I think that the Tower moment is an opportunity for growth. I've come to understand that the universe has a GPS, an internal GPS, right? Or there's a GPS inside of us that helps us navigate the universe. Same as a GPS within a car. We are meant to, and we've made, soul contracts before we got here. We decided what we do and don't want to experience in this lifetime. We've kind of like mapped out a lot of our major milestones and what we hope to see happen in this lifetime. But a lot of times we get tempted, right? We get tempted. We get thrown off course by life and everything that's built into this existence to throw us off course. And so what the GPS does is it tries to keep us on course with our life path, with those goals and that contract that we've made, an agreement that we've made with our higher selves before getting here, right? So stay with me. I picture in my head, just a lot of like universal energy. I'm seeing like just, I don't want to say clouds, but space, and like almost like a rainbow bridge. And we are driving and navigating through the universal energy in a way that is supposed to be consistent with what we've agreed upon before getting here. Now, we tend to let ego get in our way. And ego, what I believe ego does is it separates us from our intuition. And our intuition is our higher selves, and it's our connection to spirit. Like any other GPS, when we get off course, what does it do? It tells us to reroute. It reroutes. It tells us to make this turn right here. Sometimes we think we know a better way, and so we don't make the turn. We'll be like, oh, no, can't make this, not going to make this turn right here. Might make a stop, at this store first, or, I know a better way, or I'm just going to keep going straight for a while, right? That's ego. That's ourselves not really listening to our higher intuition. And the more that we do that, the more disconnected we'll become from our higher selves and from our intuition. So, that's number one. Two, sometimes roadblocks happen, right? Sometimes there's construction on streets and things kind of get in the way, and it forces us to kind of like go a different route, right? That's some of the minor arcana, right? Those are some of the like the things that we can't control. They're not necessarily there to harm us. They just happen because of external influences. However, when we get too far off course, right? And again, this card came up. When we get too far off course of our life path, from our overall purpose, from what we said we would do when we got here, the universe is only, going to nudge us, for so long before it brings in the tower, right? And towers are, as we know it, inevitable change and upheaval that can be chaotic. With that being said, I think tower moments, as scary as they can seem, if you do pull tarot, or you watch readings and you see that this is what's coming in your future, as scary as they can seem, they're amazing opportunities for growth, right? Because it's really what we don't look at and what we don't talk about a lot is what follows the tower, right? What follows the tower is a decision, right? A decision. Okay, which way are you going to go? Something I was talking about, because this is my second time recording this video, because the first time the sound didn't record because my beats were hooked up to my phone. Think about it as like, so Earth is a school, right? A lot of readers and spiritualists will agree that Earth is a school. We are here to learn. And just like any school that you go to and that you've been to as a kid or college or whatever, we take class, right? We learn lessons in units, and we're expected to pay attention and to take in what we're learning, because what happens at the end of a unit, we're tested. Right? We're tested. And usually tower moments are those tests, because after a tower, we have to make a decision. Which way are you going to go and what are you going to do? Because towers do shake up your world. They shake up our worlds and they kind of put us in a position of like, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I need to make a decision, right? And again, I love that the Page of Wands kind of came up here, because it's like you have to take action, right? At the end of a tower, it kind of sets you back. It brings you back to step one. And it says you need to figure out which action you're going to take. There's usually two paths. There's the path of probably least resistance, because it's the path that's more familiar to us. It's the one that we were on, right? A lot of times we let ego get in the way. We think that, something, maybe that shook up our whole foundation has happened, and we want to stay on that path, and we want to make it right. We want to stay on that path. We want to make it right. Absolutely not. That's not going to work. That's not how the universe works, because towers are universal, events. They are fated events, because it's shaking up and trying to get you back on path, because you are so far out of alignment. It is the universe stepping in. It is, it is karma playing out in your own life that is telling you need to, get it together. So we cannot stay on the old path. We have to go the new way. And the new way is usually the difficult way. But a tower moment is a beautiful moment to find balance in our lives, right? The tower moment is a beautiful moment to start over, to find balance in our lives. I recently went through, one of the biggest towers of my life. And what I did, and I was fortunate enough to, before really getting deeper into my spirituality, I was fortunate enough to have made a decision that was in alignment with my higher self and with my purpose here on earth. And what that has done is it has shifted me into a higher timeline, and I am so grateful. I'm so grateful, right? And I didn't know that I was doing it. I didn't know that the decision I was making was the result of a test after a tower, right? I went to hermit mode, right? As a lot of us know, I went into hermit mode after the tower, because that's usually how it works. You go through a tower, you go into hermit mode, you have to make a decision. I just put the card on the Fool again. I love that. I love that these new beginnings, that's what happens, right? When the tower strikes, You go deep within yourself and you go the new way, not the old way. And it's difficult and it's a challenge, but it is the best way to get yourself back into alignment. It is the best way to get yourself back into alignment and to start a new cycle. It really is. And I love, that's kind of when I had gotten into tarot myself. Like, I always been into reading, but really I just wanted to be more connected with the universe, and my spiritual journey, that's a conversation for another time. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the tarot because it really is my direct connection with the universe, right? And I'm empathic. I've always been an empath. And so that's something that's gotten stronger since as well. But I just wanted to share this message because I want people to know that tower moments, they don't have to happen, right? I'm not saying that we can avoid every tower, in our lives. I'm not saying that, because there are a lot of things that we just can't control that are going to bring about tower moments. But what I have come to understand is that if you are in alignment, right? If you're in alignment, meaning if you are doing the right thing, that's just the most simple way to put it. If you are doing the right thing, right? If we're doing the right thing, we're not breaking any universal laws, right? We're being honest. We're being our most authentic selves. We are working to, really understand and find our purpose. And we don't come here knowing our purpose, right? That's what makes it tricky. But you know that you're in alignment when you are doing what you love. That's the best advice I can give you with understanding what your purpose in this lifetime is. Are you doing something that you love? If you are doing something that you hate or that you are just like, about, it might not be in alignment. I am doing something that I love, you know what I'm saying? And I come to understand and I come to learn that is how I know I'm in alignment. And this tower moment threatened to take away what I love. And so when I was faced with the decision, I chose the new path. And the universe is bringing back into balance my life because I'm on mission, right? I'm on mission. I am in my life's purpose. And this tower moment that tried to basically upheave my life's purpose, it doesn't work. Like the universe is like, no. Once I made the right decision, right? And I won't go too much into what my decision was or what my situation or circumstance was just yet, because it's still, playing out. But I have learned to trust the universe, and I have found a collective that resonates with what I'm going through. But once I made the right choice, I saw everything starting to fall in line for me, because the universe was like, you know what? Maybe you were operating in a way that wasn't in alignment. And yes, you were in your purpose, right? You were in your purpose, but, there were still some things going on in your life that maybe shouldn't have been going on. And so we need you to stay in your purpose. But if you continue, with these vices or these things, they're going to threaten your purpose. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't stop. The universe kept giving me little signs here and there, that in addition to me being in my South Node and me operating, in a way that didn't work for me in a past life. It was the universe like letting me know that I am out of alignment, right? I'm in purpose, right? I was in my purpose, but I was out of alignment. And so it brought the tower down. And it said, now what are you going to do? Right? The universe was like, now what are you going to do? And because I was, I am in purpose, or I was in purpose at the time and still am in purpose. The decision for me was easy. I was like, no, I'm not willing to risk, what I love and what I've, worked for to get to this point, in my career. I'm not willing to risk that by continuing to operate out of my South Node. And so I let it go. I pretty much let go and let God. And that was me choosing the new route. And it was difficult. It was difficult because I had to break away from what I had known my whole life. I had to break away from what I had known my whole life, which was me operating in my South Node. And What I will say is that me operating in my South Node, it didn't necessarily mean that I was like in a negative space. It was just what I know. It was just what I knew. Like, I've been a fighter my whole life, right? I've been a fighter no matter what. I didn't know how to pick and choose my battles. You know what I'm saying? And that got me into a lot of trouble because not every battle is mine to fight. And so I fought every battle because, you know, in my heart, I knew, right? And I still believe that I was fighting for the right reasons. But the thing is not, every battle is not mine to fight. And so I had to really learn to be more discerning, right? And to come out of that space. But I don't want this to go on for too long. I just really want, you know, people to understand that these tower moments, they're necessary evils. I think they can be, you know, avoided. Not avoided like as in the sense of like you're avoiding catastrophe because you're just in your South Node. You're out of alignment. You're doing all types of things that you're not supposed to be doing. But you're just like, you know, maybe dipping and dodging responsibility, or like you see everything crumbling down and you refuse to relent. I'm not talking about that type of avoidance. I'm talking about being in alignment, being on mission, being in purpose, and doing the right things, right? It doesn't mean you can't have fun and you can't live life. It just means that these towers don't have to come around all the time. You just have to be on mission and be in purpose. And so I just wanted this to be a teachable moment, right? Don't fear the tower, right? Use it, right? If you see it come up in a reading of yours, you know, personal reading, collective reading, whatever, use it as like a you know, what's the word? Not sign, but indicator maybe that you need to switch some things up, right? And I don't believe that towers are avoidable. I believe that once they come up in a reading, once they come up in your energy, that they are fated events. But I do believe we can soften the blow. 100% believe we can soften the blow because the universe, God is forgiving. You know, energy does give grace, meaning that once you switch your energy up, the universe will also will accept that and will kind of start flowing with the new energy that you're in, right? Something will still need to change. Something around you will still need to change, and the universe will let you know that in its own way. So I don't want you to fear the tower. I want you to use it as like an indicator, as like a heads up. That's a better way to say it, as a heads up of what's coming. And that it's not too late to switch some things up, soften the blow, expect the test to come, make the right decision, because after the tower comes an opportunity for realignment, for balance, and for prosperity and everything that it is that you want in life, because everything that you want in life is what you already agreed to before you got here. And so these tower moments are, you know, instances where the universe is trying to get you back in balance so that you can have these things. Do not fight these tower moments, right? Do not fight them, right? You're going to go, you know, through it. But you got to, like, you know, as they say, like, if you're going through hell, keep going, you know, because you're going to get through it. So that's why the tower has become my favorite card, because it's kind of taught me that a nice, you know, swift kick in the butt isn't bad if I am out of alignment with my higher self. And listen, if this is because, and I'll end it here. The tower has become my favorite card because it wasn't until I went through something and the universe started bringing me back into balance that I understood the importance of this. But if you have not, you know, really gone through a tower that has really shaken your foundation and gotten through it, it's going to be hard to understand, because you're just going to see towers as, you know, catastrophe. But if you're still fearing the tower, it means that you have yet to pass the test. That's what it means. It means you have yet to pass the test. If you're still fearing the tower, it means that you don't know what's on the other side of this. You haven't gotten to this space of what's on the other side of this tower. And so you have to take the new road. You have to step away, because then the tower is just like, oh, this was absolutely necessary because it has gotten me back in alignment with my higher self. And now the universe is giving me everything that I ever wanted. You know what I'm saying? In its own way, in divine timing. Have a good night.